I was going to ask what the mood of the room is, but I think we already know. How are we doing? Thank you, Link. Thank you. As I like to say, welcome to Sunday evening poetry service in the House of Our Words. And here we give thanks. On Sunday night, we give thanks. First of all, we give thanks to Yellow Cab Tavern for the roof over our head. We give thanks to the four pillars that pull this together every time we gather: Link, Aisha, Morgan, and Jonathan. Give it up. Tonight we have special guest, Have a Gay Day, is in the house. Thank you for what you do, for educating the community and giving, raising awareness. We don't thank each other enough in here, so I encourage you to turn to your neighbor and say thank you. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for listening to us read. Thanks for coming out. I usually talk about the website. I'll leave that with four pillars. Jonathan, last time you asked, do people still go to websites? I check out DaytonPoetrySlam.com. So, everybody else. Let's see. Snaps. If you don't know what snaps are, ask your neighbor. If they don't know, ask your other neighbor. Last couple times one time I talked about the Sunday evening sermon. Last time we gathered, I talked about the origins of the acronym FUCT. Tonight I'd like to talk about trigger warnings a little bit. I applaud our fellow poets that get up here, the creatives, and warn what they're about to read, give a trigger warning. Let's show that we care for our audience, we care for each other. I also stand on the hill that if you're coming to a poetry slam, open mic, you're going to face trigger warnings, you're going to experience trigger warnings. We run toward these things, we go home and we read, we go home and we write about them. We scribble away, we hide behind them, but we stand up on the stage and we present them. We have to learn to face our fears, we have to learn to face our trigger warnings. We have to face our demons. Everybody's journey is different. There's no timeline on doing this, except for the fan. Tonight, we're going to go a little dark. No right or wrong answer, just a show of hands. Who here has heard about the Holocaust? Who here has read the Diary of Anne Frank? We're 3 generations away from the Holocaust. We're bound to repeat history if we do not repeat it. Has anybody been to the Holocaust Museum? If you haven't, I encourage you to go, visit it online, do yourself a favor and learn all that you can. Learn about the pink triangle. That's especially important tonight because Have a Gay Day is here. We need to remember the Holocaust was not just about a certain group of humans, it went across the spectrum. Races, colors, creeds, sexuality. Why did I talk about all this stuff? Because we're going to get a little dark tonight. I've really pondered opening with this, but I write dark shit too, so here's some dark shit. This is called the Brutality Museum. It takes work to find freedom of escape from memories, reads the sign above the entrance. How many years from now will a common piece of chain-link fence be cataloged and categorized, displayed behind a glass case, and labeled in museum font? Will the stench of fear wafting lazily through darkened corridors, from the emotion-inducing display of sweat-drenched mattresses, permeating the forest walls and olfactory senses of patrons waiting to buy a gift shop candle to erase their memory and leave a lasting impression the way souvenirs are supposed to? Will an off-color pile of discolored hats be haphazardly tossed into the center of a gallery floor? Spotlights shining through dust beams, highlighting the sweat-stained bands from the excitement, from the exhaustion of rallies held in sunshine and rain, while faint chants of wall building and detention cheers slice horizontally from well-hidden speakers. Will there be a grand opening date, making museums great again? A place to finally learn our place among history and atrocities alike? Reminding groups of school children on field trips just how awful their grandparents really were. The participation tissues distributed early on because there will be tears witnessed for the cruelty they did not. Will the docents be armed and masked, monitoring photosensitive barriers, snatching anyone away through hidden corridors if they strayed far behind or fall out of lockstep cadence required of the tour groups? Will there be group admission discounts on certain days of the week for the week? Visits less prone to exposure from newscasts and reporters urging visitation and education, in between commercials for new fuel stations and the latest mattress warehouse. Will tour buses line up behind the building, delivering from classrooms and senior centers? Ironically, some brought forth kicking and screaming, but never bound with plastic zip ties, because they may scare the children who once were our future, the ones charged with remembering. Will there be an oversized tablet suspended in holographic hands, showcasing newsreels through antique snow static, reminiscent of breaking news stories the media once used to portray information the masses were too busy ignoring, because distractions were forced upon common heads buried in proverbial sands from wars and faraway places that will never wash upon the shores of mental beach vacations taken. Will there be topographical timeline maps highlighting places that could never happen here, but it did anyway? Showcasing the strength in numbers and invisible mental walls built to protect the masses who matter from the infidels of chaos and fear who don't, at least in their eyes. Because greatness is once again just around the next election's corner. Will the ramshackle buildings slowly decay, funding lost over time in recessions, because the locals never visit and only remember its existence while they are stuck in traffic caused by tour bus conventions, blocking their progress and GPS ETAs to whatever menial task awaits. Their resurrected memory is fleeting as a lost cheap souvenir once bought as a school-aged child on a field trip to the Brutality Museum. It takes work to find freedom of escape from memories, reads the sign above the entrance, and there is no exit. That's the Brutality Museum. My name is M Wuebker. Thank you for allowing me to be your name.